I'm the governor of the state of Niadi in the Kongo Federation, the 55th country of Africa. This live is targeted to speaking directly to the Democratic Party in particular, in President Biden, and at the failure of the Democratic Party. And I will have a message at the end for former President Trump and the Republican Party. But this live is going to speak straight to why the Democratic Party lost the black vote. And I'm going to say that here with a straight face. And before I go further, I just want to say I want to exercise here my First Amendment right to free speech. And I hope that people will understand here that what I'm going to share today is just the reality of what's happening right now and the reality that we're going in the future. And of course, I'm going to give my advices after I share some information, some videos about the black vote, about the Democratic Party failure of the black people in this country, and which still at the bottom of the ladder, the last in the United States, and be trying to work to make sure that this change. That's why we're here to speak about that. That's why we're here to give our contribution to America. As a black immigrant, we have the responsibility also as an African leader now, picked by people in the Kongo Federation as the governor of the state of Niadi, basically voting. We have the responsibility to also help United States get better. So that will be one of my contributions today. So I'm going to share the video first, and then I'm going to start talking about why the Democratic Party lost Black America. Share the video right quick. Share the video right quick. Share the video in your group, your Facebook group, your WhatsApp group. Share the video. Share the video right quick here. All right, so this video is going to be in English. This is going to be in English. Is addressing the American audience. We're going to talk about why United States, the Democratic Party lost the black vote, and why President Biden, I say, put in my title, we lose the election in November 2024. I'm going to address that, and like I say, at the end of the live, I'm going to address. I have 3 advices for President Trump and the Republican Party. You know, what we think they might do better and what they can do for the black Americans here in America. You know, and I'm going to talk also about the influence of the United States in foreign policy, because I'm going to talk about the Kongo Federation, how we can, you know, help the Kongo Federation become the 55th country in the United Nations officially. As you guys already know about us and everything that we've been striving for, to trying to protect the life of our people, take control of our land that is under the Republic of Congo now, basically send a form of genocide by trying to sell the part of our country to Rwanda and keep killing our people. So I'm gonna come to that at some point, talk about the Kongo Federation, but I want to focus first here tonight on the black vote and the Democratic Party, the failure of the Democratic Party. I'm going to talk about what happened to the black America, what happened to the black vote, and what I'm going to give some of my advice, view the position of we black folks are in this country right now, and how you can get better. Because I think that the immigrant people like us who was fortunate enough to be accepted in the United States should just not be here to benefit from whatever lifestyle that America can offer, but we should actually add to the plate, help United States get better. And I'm going to explain how we do that, how people like us who came as immigrants in this country can help United States become better. We're going to address one of the toughest issues that this country has, the gap between whites and black, the gap when it comes to the poverty stuff, when it comes to the income, when it comes to, we're going to address all that. But before I go and explain myself the state of black America and why the Democratic Party lost the black vote and why they actually deserve to lose in November 2024. And President Biden, like I say here, we speak truth to power here, President Biden will lose in November 2024. He will lose because he lost the black vote. But before I go further to explain, myself, some of the information that I gather, I'm going to play a couple of 3 videos. Be patient, because the reason why I want to play it is I want you to hear what black media is saying. Not what MSNBC or Fox News or CNN or this corporate bought Washington media. No. I want you to hear. I'm going to play 3 small videos. We're going to take our time here because we're talking about the black vote. We're talking about the failure of the Democratic Party. We're talking about what the Republican Party could do better in the future. But I want you to hear from the black media. What is it that black people are actually saying about black America? What is it that black America actually want in the United States? It's not what you hear on Fox News. You need to hear what black media is saying, what they're asking for, what they're demanding. And that's exactly what those videos that I'm going to play going to tell you. And just for the record, I don't make, my channel is not monetized. I'm a leader of the Kongo Federation. I fight for my people. So I'm playing these videos. I don't make any money out of it, just for the record, so that there is no need to censor me or attack me or stop me for sharing this video, because I'm not making any money. My channel is not monetized. But I want to share that. So the majority of people who might not understand why is it that black America is asking can hear from their own ear for themselves. What is it that black America is asking? Why is it that the Democratic Party failed black America? Because the Democratic Party used to control 90% of the black vote. The majority of the black people in this country used to vote for the Democratic Party. Why is it that they lost the black vote? And why is it that President Biden will likely lose? I'm just going to say he's going to lose in November 2024. He's going to lose because he lost the black vote. I'm just going to tell you that straight up. But let me play those videos so you can have an idea of what black America is actually said. Because before I talked about them, before I talk about the numbers, I give my own advice as a black immigrant in this country, and I add my contribution to the pie, I want to play you what black America is saying. So let's hear. We're gonna start with the Brother Philip Scott podcast, and the title of this little video. This video is the title of this video is "Financial Pain and Disrespect Has Caused the Mass Exodus of Black Voters under 50 from Democrats." So let's see what he had to say about that. The Brother Philip Scott. Let's hear.
CNN is wanting to do a deep dive into what's going on with all the voting and why black Americans are having a mass exodus from the Democrat Party. They just cannot figure this out. They don't even know. Because you have to understand, the Democrats have depended on black Americans for a long time.
Listen.
And they didn't have to give us nothing. They sure didn't have to do anything. They can just give us a little symbolism. They can come to our churches, hug the babies, shake hands with some of the elders in the church. And that's all really they had to do. They never actually had to do anything for black Americans. But there's a crowd of people that is leading the mass exodus away from the Democrat Party. Let's go ahead and roll that.
I keep looking for signs that this is going to go back to normal, and I don't see it yet in the polling. If anything, right now we're careening towards a historic performance for Republican presidential candidate, the likes of which we have not seen in 6 decades.
And when you dig into this number here, What is the makeup of that number?
This is where we get very interesting. So I decided to dive deeper into the crosstabs, figure out where is it that Joe Biden is truly struggling among black voters. All right, so this is black voters, Biden versus Trump margin. Look at black voters age 50 and older, and you'll see, look, Joe Biden was leading amongst this group at this point by 83 points back in 2020. Now it's 74 points. So yeah, a slight decline in that margin, but nothing out of this world. Look at black voters under the age of 50. Holy cow, folks. Holy cow. Look at this. Joe Biden was up by 80 points among this group back at this point in 2020. Look at where that margin has careened down towards. It's now just, get this, 37 points. That lead has dropped by more than half, Mr. Berman. I just never seen anything like this. I'm like speechless, because you always look at history and you go, okay, this is a historic moment. If this polling is anywhere near correct, we are looking at a historic moment right now where black voters under the age of 50, which have historically been such a big part of the Democratic coalition, are leaving it in droves.
So it wasn't me just making up a title. He's saying that black American voters under 50 is leaving in droves. I'm part of that group that's under 50. Now, I know many of you at CNN and a lot of the mainstream and even a lot of you Democrats that, trying to put your ear to what's going on. See, if you had been listening on these microphones, we have been articulating for a long time why you're going to have this problem. You ignored us. You thought, I'll just depend on the elders and all of them. I know they're going to show up for us. I'm not worried about them young people. But you didn't anticipate this day where you can't really depend on the elders no more, because a lot of the elders are going to see Jesus, right, in our community. And now you got to deal with the under 50 in the black community. The main reason why you're having a big problem and there's a mass exodus away from the Democrat Party is financial pain.
That's right.
Financial pain.
Not
when
abortion.
You go to the grocery store.
Financial
you see
pain.
the financial pain.
Financial
when you go to the gas pump, I just pumped my gas this morning.
Hi, Governor.
Ridiculous high. Extremely
Maman
high.
Gandhi,
That it was not
like
that during the Trump administration.
Hi.
When I was going to buy food, it wasn't that high during the Trump administration. I'm looking at insurance rates jacking up, whether it's medical insurance, car insurance, whatever insurance is jacking up for no reason, claiming, it's just inflation. We got to raise rates on your policy, and you haven't done anything major to cause those rates to go up. People remember that. They say, wait a minute, when you talking about, it's not about Trump. It's not that people like Trump like that. It's not even that people like Republicans like that. It's not that. They're remembering the time of Trump and remember what their pocketbooks look like. Underneath the Biden administration, black Americans' pockets have been drained of money. Black Americans are trying to decide, do I put food on the table or pay a light bill? This is the decision that a lot of black Americans, even working class, we're talking about working class, and even people who are making a little bit more than working class black Americans are having to consider. Because this economic pain that has happened, it has been in this administration. Interest rates have not dropped at all. They say, we're going to have it high so we can bring down inflation. Haven't brought down anything but created financial pain. On top of the financial pain, listen to me, Democrats, on top of the financial pain, you haven't done nothing for black Americans.
That's right.
Not a thing at all. When we ask you about doing something, you got excuse after excuse. Well, we can't win elections when we just say we're going to do something specifically for black Americans. It's always an excuse why you can't do nothing for black Americans. Black Americans voted, as you saw on that screen, under the 50 and above 50, voted for Biden last election. But Biden became very, very disrespectful to black Americans. That's the second part, the disrespect.
That's right.
Black Americans, after George Floyd, say, hey, we need an anti-black hate crime bill. We need that. What Biden decided to do, let's roll that on the screen. Instead of giving black Americans their anti-black hate crime bill, he gives it to the Asian community. The disrespect. So we had to deal with not only the financial pain, but the disrespect of black Americans. We've been in this country for at least 5 centuries, and we have not had no protection for black Americans. And the guy that we gave all the votes to went and signed our hate crime bill to another community who have not been in this country for 5 centuries, didn't build this country, wasn't slaves in this country, didn't fight all the wars in this country, none of that, but gave it to another group of people that didn't vote for him. You understand what I'm saying? It's financial pain and disrespect. On top of that, this man has brought in everyone from all these different countries and given resources from the back pockets of black American taxpayers to other groups of people. They have been set in the cities where black Americans are trying to get jobs.
You see that?
They're given shelter when black Americans are homeless. There was a video that we had covered out of Boston where the brother had said that, hey, how is it that I'm working a full-time job and I'm homeless, but these migrants got somewhere to stay? This is the disrespect that black Americans have been dealing with on top of the financial pain.
Okay.
Do you really think that black Americans is going to put up with that or go reward you with another 4 years when you have created financial pain and disrespect after disrespect after disrespect? Do you really think so? We tell you, hey, man, we need reparations in the form of cash payments. The majority of Democrats don't even agree with reparations like that. The majority don't. There are some Democrats that do, but it should be the majority, much as they say they need the black vote, right? Oh, we can't do that. We can't do that. That's politically impossible. Oh, well, we need to do something else, not that. Okay, no problem. You put us in financial pain. You continue to disrespect us when we need something in our community. And you want us to show up for you as a group, especially the under 50s who deal with the financial pain more because they're still working in this system. Y'all have screwed up the money so bad, there may not even be a Social Security by the time I get of age to get it.
Today I want to talk about the 5 reasons and the big benefits you get from going to the Tax and Asset Protection Workshop. Number 1, the best investment you...
Let's finish with brother.
That's how much y'all screwed up the money.
Let's finish with him. Yeah.
But you want black Americans to come out there and vote for y'all when you have us in so much financial pain and have disrespected us so much.
Financial pain and disrespect.
Black Americans saying no, 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 no. And it's not that, once again, for the people in the back, for the people that like to sniff the Elmer's glue and it's messing with your brain cells. Those people in the back. It's not that black Americans like Trump like that. No. It's not that they like Trump. What black Americans like is their money in their pocket. Let me tell you something. Men lie. Women lie. But raw numbers don't lie. Mm-hmm. When they saw they pocketbook during Trump and you see they pocketbook during Biden, they say, wait a minute, hold on. I had more during Trump. So I'm thinking about going to vote for Trump, man. It's not about even liking Republicans. It's not that. It's about the dollar bill, y'all. That's all it's about. Or it can't be about money. The hell it can.
Yes, it is about money.
We don't go out there and work to have our money drained like that. We can't even enjoy our money. We can't take our kids on vacation. Mm-hmm. We can't do nothing. We can't go buy some extra clothes that we want. We can't do anything. We're deciding, should I put food on the table or pay a bill? That's during the Biden administration, y'all. That's like that. Come on now. Listen, we don't care if Donald Trump talk crap. We don't care about anything he's doing, as long as he keep money in our back pocket. Well, he say racist stuff. Man, Biden has said racist stuff. I would say he did a 94 crime bill. Yeah. You understand? Do you really think we care about that? We care about our money in our pocket, keeping our checks with more money in our bank account. That's what we care about. That is it. And if Trump come in here and fix the issue, let him fix it. Trump go get these hostile migrants out of here. Come on, Trump, get them on. That's how a lot of black Americans feeling right now. It's not right what Biden has done, putting us in financial pain and disrespecting us at the same time. Right. Then constantly in our face talking about the black vote, the black vote, the black vote. Man, forget that. We are not our elderly grandma and grandpa. We're not them. We're not them.
That's what black Americans
are people. And we need what we need. It's just that simple. So you're going to keep seeing this happen. Now, the debate supposed to be, Thursday? I think he's going to get a boost from the debate. I think he will. And the thing is, the more y'all try to sit up here and do different things to him in the court, that's going to boost his numbers even more because people see through that too. So it's going to be fun to watch this election cycle, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be very, very fun. But here's the thing. The only way Biden can fix it, he has to do reparations in the form of cash payments.
You hear that?
That's one
Democrat.
thing he got to do. Anti-black hate crime bill, and definitely drop them interest rates because you're destroying the country with those interest rates right now. You're destroying it, and that's at minimum. They better do something about it because, like I say, he going to lose epically. And I'm not saying it's a mass exodus to Trump, but it's a mass exodus away from the Democrats. The brothers and sisters going to sit on the couch a lot more than vote for Trump. That I can tell you.
Everyday recycling is waste.
Regulated waste.
And just to stick on the same, on that topic, that was the brother Philip Scott from Philip Scott podcast. Go check him out. He's very great. Philip Scott podcast on YouTube. Check him out. He's great, and he's fighting for the Black America. He's telling a lot of truth. So watch him if you want to know more about that. Now, just to piggyback on what he said before I get to my next video. Before I share the next video,
family and fellow soldiers,
let me put pause here. I'm gonna share you. I'm gonna share something about reparation that they talk about. Just a graphic, so people who don't might not understand can see what we're talking about. Just for you to.
Professor, and this is the moment of truth.
Hold on.
Before we begin, I want to give a mention to Sister Lisa Cabrera. There's not me.
That's going to be the last. I'm going to finish with that. I'm going to show you just a little graphic that I put about reparation. Here's my profile on my X account. Just to kind of add to what the brother Philip Scott was saying about when they asked for reparation. So this is why they asked for reparation. This is like they put like a little pamphlet. We say reparation are owed enslaved black people. And why? Enslavement. The reason why they're asking for reparation, because we have to be clear. Because people tend to talk about like it's something that is not owed. It's owed to black folks. So they say reparations are owed to the descendant of enslaved black people for crime against humanity, including but not limited to enslavement, lynching, redlining, black codes, Jim Crow, mass incarceration. I'm going to read that again. I'm going to read that again so people understand exactly why Black America is asking for reparation. Reparations are owed to the descendant of enslaved black people for crime against humanity, including but not limited to enslavement, lynching, redlining, black codes, Jim Crow, mass incarceration. So I'm just going to show you the pamphlet here for you to have an idea. That's one of the information I will share on my X account to explain to people why is it that reparations are owed to black descendants of black enslaved Americans. So it's right here. I wanted to share that with you. I wanted to read that, and that's why black Americans are talking about reparation. So it be clear. It's owed to them. Yeah, there is no commission to talk about why we should talk about it, why it need to be paid. And that's one of the reasons why the Democratic Party are fair black people, because the Democratic Party basically didn't even want to deal with reparation. They act like they did, or they wanted to talk about it, but they didn't want to pay for it. They didn't want. They don't really want the federal government to pay for it. Or it's one of the biggest issues in this country that will actually help America reach the gap between white and blacks, and between the fact that blacks are in the bottom in this country. And I'm going to go to other numbers here. But I wanted to show you why they're asking for reparations first. Now, when it's talking about financial pain, the reason why the Democratic Party is losing the black vote because of the financial pain, I'm going to read just a couple of numbers here. And I'm gonna read just a couple of numbers here. So that's the report from the National Urban League finds continuing economic disparity among Black Americans. So this report was shared here by Annalisa Novak in March 1st, 2024. So this report was shared through CBS Morning. That's CBS Morning, so it's like CBS News, but morning. So what he's saying, I'm just going to read a little bit, not a lot. I'm just going to read just to kind of put you in the context. Nearly 6 decades after the Civil Rights Act outlawed discrimination based on race, religion, sex, and national origin, the 2024 State of Black America report assigned a score of just below 76% to the current level of equality between Black and white Americans, a figure indicating that while progress has been made, significant disparities remain, according to Mark Morial, president of the National Urban League. Morial said the National Urban League report evaluates data that include unemployment, death rate, health insurance coverage, and economic indicators. The findings suggest that Black Americans earn significantly less than white people, with a median family income of $45,000 a year compared to $75,000 for white Americans. So at this rate, we are 180 years away from parity, said Morial, who is former mayor of New Orleans. So I'm just going to put you in context what that means. When they say that in America, the median Black family income is $45,000, I'm going to jump into another report to give you the context. That was said by Yahoo Finance a couple of months ago. Yahoo Finance break down the ranking of income in America, so you understand what I'm saying. Basically, where you rank by income, according to the Census Bureau income in the United States in 2022 report, the median household income is $74,580,000, decline from 2001, while household income level for each class level are as follows. So the median income in the country is $74,000, but you just hear the Urban League report say that Black Americans make $45,000, that Black American families make $45,000 in average, which is almost nothing. Now, if you classify that by class in America, the lower class, you consider the lower class between $0 and $30,000 of income. The lower middle class, you consider the lower middle class between $30,001 and $58,020. So between $30,001 and $58,020, that's where the majority of Black Americans are. Do you understand why it's a huge deal for Black America that Black America haven't progressed as much as people think? And that's one of the reasons why the Democratic Party failed Black America, because the Democratic Party could not provide a better financial position for Black America since the Civil Rights Bill. And they talk about it, but I'm going to read that part a bit later on. But I just want you to understand where Black America is. They're in the lower middle class. The lower middle class is between $30,001 and $58,020. The middle class is actually between $58,021 and $94,000. So in the middle class, that's where white America is in majority. Because we're not talking about a few. We're not talking about a few rich white folks or a few black rich a few rich black folks or a few Spanish rich folks or a few Asian. No, we're talking about a majority. That's the point of this conversation. It's not about having one person making it from the hood to the Senate, or from the hood to the House, or from the hood to the presidency, or from the hood to the millionaire class. It's not about one. It's where the majority of the people. Because if you're in a country, the finances, the rule, the economy should help the majority, not a couple of people. That's the point of this conversation. So Black America are in majority in the lower middle class, between 30,001 and 58,002. And in the middle class, between 58,021 and 94,000, that's where the majority white America is. And then we have the upper middle class, between 94,001 and $153,000. That's the upper middle class. And we have the upper class, so the rich, greater than 153,000. So if you make under 153,000, you in the upper class. So you see, it's 5 classes in America. And basically, black folks are in the lower middle class and the lower class, because even the lower class, from 0 to 30,000, the majority of them are black. That's the failure of the Democratic Party. Black folks still poor in majority in this country. And the Democratic Party received, since the Civil Rights Movement, about 90% of the vote. Now nothing has changed. So I'm going to go to the next, that's the sister. I'm just going to play a little bit of her, because it's a long while. I'm going to play just a little bit of what she's saying, and I'm going to close with another one. That's the sister Vicky Dillard TV. And she was talking about here about Steve Harvey tell black Americans no reparation if you don't vote for Kamala and Biden. So that's the title of the video. So that's from the sister Vicky Dillard TV. She's a strong advocate of the black issue in America. These are the black media. I'm sharing with you what black America is saying, not what CNN is telling you, talking about abortion. It's not about abortion. You heard the brother Philip Scott. Black folks don't care about abortion. They care about their financial status. They care about reparation, who is owed to them. They care about the other thing, the anti-black hate crime bill. I'm going to talk about that too a bit later on. But this is what black America never got. That's why black America still at the bottom of the country, when 90% of black America have been voting for the Democratic Party. So the Democratic Party failed black America, could not deliver since Reconstruction. Even after the Civil Rights Bill, they have done some, but not enough when you compare to other races or other communities in America. And that's a fact. Let's hear a little bit from the sister Vicky Dillard, what she said about Steve Harvey telling black Americans, you're not going to get any reparation, but you know what? Vote for Kamala Harris and Biden, who have done nothing the past 3.5 years for black America. They have done absolutely zero. But all they ask black Americans to come vote for them, but while doing nothing, but they give everything to the Zionists, they give everything to Ukraine. They don't want to get all the money. That's a fact too. Let's hear.
That your judges use the gavel, but so do your legislators. We was doing it all, baby.
Let's listen a little bit.
Talk black to me, somebody. We was doing it all, weren't we, family? We was in the court, and we was legislating. The ancestors was rocking with us, weren't they? Didn't y'all feel the glory? And we just getting started. I said, we just getting started. Now, family, our demands, our unrelenting demands for reparations is resounding so much. Are y'all hearing me? That your old dead black media members like Steve Harvey, they collaborating with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, funny looking Melanie says she's screaming. They trying to sabotage what we doing. Y'all know that the black elders, the so-called black elders in the old dead black media, y'all know they despise us.
That's right.
And let me tell some of you real quick, y'all, I'm really thrilled. I have to remind y'all of some of this because, see, some of y'all are real, some of y'all are hell-bent on certain spiritual principles, and I'm here to give it to you, are biblical principles. I'm here for it, baby. I can be your Sunday school teacher. Let me be your Sunday school teacher real quick. Can I do that for you? Let me be your Sunday school teacher, Steve Harvey. Because you're the kind of person that will talk about your Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. You're the kind of person that will sit up there and talk about Moses and the promised land. You're the kind of person that will be sitting up there hucking, jumping and bucking and talking about let my people go. Let me help you real quick. Let me tell some of you old black elders something. Those of you that still rocking with the Democrat Party, those of you that's refusing to put a demand and rock with your young people, that's refusing to rock with the generation that's actually demanding something of them. Whoever just gave that other $10 speech, who is this? Raw Status said the speech of DC was fire. Thank you, beloved. Your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Let me prophesy something to you, you old folks. Can I prophesy to you real quick? I'm not going to even use the Bible as a book of magic. I'm just going to use it in the traditional New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church, Mount Zion, Methodist Episcopal. Let me go tongues on you. Let me go Pentecostal and non-denominational. Can I do it real quick? Miss Cynthia said, prophesy, queen. Let me tell you something real quick. I'm going to take you straight to your Bible and give you a Sunday school principle. VK ain't finna do nothing doing with the mystery school. Let me just go Sunday school. Somebody else just gave a gift. Timestamp, your gift is blessed, saying church. Don't back to me. Watch this. Let's just do church real quick. I promise you I'm going to do this clip real quick, and we're going to be gone. The story as you're told and the way that you teach it, they teach us in Sunday school in the traditional Baptist churches and the traditional Methodist churches. Watch this. They tell us about how Moses went to demand of Pharaoh to let my people go. Yes? After a whole bunch of signs and wonders and miracles, through much rebellion, and after the death of his own firstborn son, Pharaoh finally let the children of so-called Israel go. Is that right, family? Let me just go to Sunday school. I'm not even going to veer from the Bible. We're going to just stick straight with the Bible. Watch this. To you old folks, let me prophesy to you your destiny. As Moses was trying to deliver the children of Israel, as the Sunday school story goes, though he was trying to deliver them from captivity, they started to complain. Today, people that were so-called in bondage were complaining about the deliverer. You see how messed up your twisted little sick, little twisted, little dirty, little weird, little enslaved minds are? The people that come to set you free, you fight against your freedom fighters. Let me prophesy your destiny. Watch this. It was not Moses. It was not Moses' brother, the priest Aaron, who was sent to speak for him, that obstructed nothing or that first suggested that the children of Israel not be saved. Who was it? As it's written, it said it was the God himself that wanted to kill off all the generation, especially the old generation. Oh my God, let's just go to church. Can we just go to the Bible? Can we just go to the Bible? Y'all better come on in and hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. There's way more people in here than those that hit that thumbs up button. The one that you said is the divine. The one that you call the most high. The one that you call the only living God. I know I'm talking to the Christians out there. I'm talking about y'all. Your God said he was ready to take every single one of you out. But the way your book is written, it said it was Moses that made intercession and said the people all over the world gonna mock you and your reputation gonna be bad. So it said that the God himself changed his mind, and instead of killing them all because of Moses' intercession, he let what? The younger generation go into the promised land, and he allowed the old generation to die off. I prophesy that to you. I know you don't like this fire, but I'm sick of y'all.
Y'all hear that?
Your $20 gift, Andrea, is blessed 1,000.
Y'all hear that? Do you hear that?
I said it. But I'm just going straight.
The Democratic Party.
I'm just going straight.
Do you hear that?
What y'all know about that BTU? I'm 45
That's the
years
Black
old.
America. That's what they're
For
saying.
real. We was a BTU,
That's
baby.
Black
We went
America right here.
to the NBC
Speaking
and stuff.
to you,
I was on the usher board.
Democrats.
My mama made us be on the usher board and stuff. We was in the choir family. We used to go to the prayer meeting on Wednesday. We had to go to Bible study even when the other young folks didn't have to go. We was going to Sunday school and stuff. What y'all know about that? Let me prophesy to you something. He wasn't studying you. Your mindset was so enslaved. The way you thought was so dangerous. The God himself, the one you said is your creator, the one that's responsible for making you, he was ready to take you out. All the other religions that you call them demonic, your God said he was ready to kill you. He was sick of you with your enslaved mindset. Watch this. He could not afford to take you into the so-called promised land. Watch this. So what did he do? Moses said, don't kill him because your reputation going to look bad. How you going to do all this in front of Pharaoh and then the whole world going to mock you? Watch this. He said, okay. He said, I'm going to let the older generation live, but he just let them go what? He let them wander for what? 40 whole years.
40 years.
He let all you old nut jobs just go in circles for 40 whole years. 2 generations. He understood that what's the point of releasing you from captivity and bondage when your mind is still in bondage? Because a messed up mind is going to do nothing but infect the new world to come. So he made sure that you had shoes to wear and clothes on your back and food to eat, didn't he? But he never let you go to the next level. He waited till you died off, and then he let your youth go in. That's your destiny. Tell him I said it. I prophesied that over your life, Steve, and everybody
You heard
else.
that?
Shakila, your gift is blessed 1,000.
Did America hearing this? That's what Black America
Since all of you
said.
espouse the Christian beliefs, let's just stick to Sunday school interpretation. Don't talk about no other religion. Let's just stick with yours, baby. He wanted you out of here. He said, kill him. And Moses said, this ain't going to look right. The world going to mock you. We did all this. The miracles, wonders, and signs and stuff. You just going to say, kill him? He said, okay, they ain't going in the promised land. They're just going to let them wander for 40 whole years. Shireen, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. My sister Maria made the rally for me. I had to send her to see you, Queen. She was front and center. Ashe. Y'all are blessing me so strong with your kind words. Y'all, if you all hear the words and the testimonials I'm getting from all over the place, if y'all would see the DMs we're getting, the messages, it's overwhelming. It's impossible for me to look at them all. Just know it's blessed. Y'all, I had to, look, the security was so thick at the rally, I couldn't take no more pictures and stuff. They had to swoop me on out because of some behind-the-scenes reasons and stuff. But y'all know Brother Tariq and this whole team, they made sure that the security was good. Security was so sweet. They was taking real good care of your sister. They said, okay, now, this enough.
She talked about the reparation rally. They just had a reparation rally. About 5,000 to 6,000 people was at the reparation rally. Recently,
my hair
about 2
was
weeks ago,
3,
a
4,
week
5,
ago.
6, 7 times the size.
They had a reparation rally. About 5,000 to 6,000 young folks
It
show
took
up.
me back down south. I can't wait to go back down south. At least your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. It said, teach, priest, no mercy, no mercy. Y'all send this to Steve Harvey. Y'all send this to all the old bootlegs. Send this to Reverend Al Sharpton. Send this to Joyless Reed. Talk black to me, somebody. Send this to Kamala Skamala and them. Send this to all the old school fraternity folks. All the old school Black Enterprise TV folks, all the Roland Martin type individuals. Send them this word and prophesy to them. Send them this part of the prophecy. Just cut this part out. You got my permission. Long as you don't try to act like you mean. Because there's some weird little nut jobs out there that's lying to the folks, making folks think that they need baby. I'm Vicky Dillon. Somebody say, I'm Vicky Dillon. People be out there trying to use your name and image and stuff, trying to trick the public. You know, you don't even be me. Be cutting and pasting messages and stuff, lying on what folks were saying and didn't say. God today. I'm Vicky Dillon. God today. You got some weirdos that's out there that think they entitled to your destiny, your aura, your world, your spirit, your life, your magic. Stranger. Somebody say stranger danger. There's some weird little stranger danger people, but I understand. God today, but I just have to be real clear. I'm Vicky Dillon. too. Y'all send them that part of the prophecy. Y'all better tell the old generation, woe be unto you, baby. You better go out. Ain't nobody talking no other religion. I'm just prophesying your book that your days are numbered. You black-looking obstructors. You saboteurs. You tools of white supremacy. Natasha, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. She said, give them the business, Vicky. Love you. I love you back. Everybody ain't finna tell you that. Folks are scared to talk about spiritual and scripture stuff. I'm not, because I know how to use the book against your funny looking self. You in the way.
You hear that?
I said you in the way.
You in the way. You're not helping.
Your Lord and
black
Savior
folk.
Jesus Christ, the one that you espouse and love so much, he didn't just call his enemies out their names. Peter, his top dog, when Peter was looking out for him so that Jesus wouldn't get killed, he called Peter Satan. God, today. Some of y'all be operating in certain energies and you think it's for the well-being of us. But in fact, you don't even understand that you're being moved by a demonic energy. I'm here to help you understand, baby. Even when you seem like you're well-meaning, you're being moved by a demonic and satanic and diabolical energy. And don't even. Didn't he tell Peter? Didn't he call him Satan? Peter was trying to look out for him that time. He was just saying, don't go, they're going to try to kill you. He said, Satan, get behind me. You got to understand that when you get in the way of progress, even if it requires risk, if you get in the way of that, you move by a demonic and a diabolical energy, baby. Let's just use the scriptures the way you used to it. I don't mind doing Sunday school for you. Y'all better send Steve Harvey this clip and tell him woe be to him and his family and his seed. I said it! Woe be to you older, black-looking, old, dead black media entities. Your days are numbered, baby. All you getting ready to do is wonder, you and your seed. I'm switching up the scripture for you. I'm bending it a bit. Lo, I come in the volume of the book. Go read that again and again and again and again. My sister Sharif said, she said Sunday school on Juneteenth. That's all they need to know. That's all they need to know, sis, right there. Sunday school on Juneteenth.
She's so passionate. So watch the rest of the video. I'm going to move to it. Watch the rest of the video. Like I said, is on Vicky Dillard TV. And the title is Steve Harvey tells Black Americans no reparation if we don't vote for Kamala and Biden. So watch the rest of the video. It's very interesting. She explained a lot of stuff about where you see the old generation. And I'm going to, since she talked about, I'm going to jump on the old generation here. And before I go to the last video that I'm going to share with you, because it's important. We're going to take our time here. We're talking about Black America. We're talking about the Democratic Party who have lost the black vote. And I say on the title of his live, President Biden will lose the election in November 2024. He will lose because the Democratic Party lost the black vote. There's no other way around that. He will lose in November. And he deserved to lose. The Democratic Party deserved to lose. And that's what this live is about. I'm going to explain. I'm going to give my take after that, but I'm going to let Black America speak first. I'm going to show you something else. She talked about the old generation of blacks. We're gonna get into that a little bit here, but I'm just gonna show you one. Put the last live and come talk about all the black leaders in our time. Okay, I'm gonna show you one of the most famous one, the one who actually helped President Biden win the election. Can you see me here? You may seem frozen. All right, because yeah, it was frozen for a minute because somebody trying to call. All right, I'm gonna go to the next. We're talking about the old generation here, and I'm gonna show you. This is U.S. Representative Jim Clyburn. He's the one who basically saved the campaign of now President Joe Biden. He went to South Carolina and rallied black people and give basically the nomination to Joe Biden, Jim Clyburn. That's the old generation. So these are those who have been leading black folks in this country for decades. And he also represents one of the poorest districts in America. Jim Clyburn, the one that you see him on TV a lot. He come pretend to talk about black people a lot, but they have done nothing for black folks. You heard the black America, the young black folks, what they say. If you look at since the civil rights movement and now, black folks have regressed and black folks are still in the bottom. And he lead one of the poorest districts in America. Yeah, he represents, let me read that, I'm going to read it. Represent U.S. Representative Democrat, South Carolina, 6th District. And he's one of the recipients of the APAC. That's the APAC track to show, the people who are financed by APAC. He received over $199,313 from APAC. So APAC is the most powerful Israeli lobby who basically now control black politicians in America. So they get to power, they're more eager to serve Israel or the state of Israel, the Zionist vision. They're more willing to make sure that the Zionists and Israel get $3 billion every year. They have been, the black leaders in Congress have been put to power to serve the state of Israel, not black America, because black America haven't progressed. And even him that you see on TV all the time talking about black vote, talking about people voting for the Democratic Party, he lead one of the poorest district in America. What it means? It means that he personally succeed. Maybe his family personally got successful. They maybe got from poverty to wealth, to power, but he didn't take the people of his district with him in that move from rags to riches. That's the story of many black leaders in the United States. They're more serving for the state of Israel, which financed their campaign, which basically put them in power to AIPAC, one of the biggest lobby in America, Jewish lobby in America, Israel lobby, Zionist lobby, because they protect the Zionist vision, which President Joe Biden is part of the Zionist vision. I'm going to show you that too a little bit later on. But I want to show you Jim Clyburn, one of the most popular black politician faces in America, who've been in power for decades, who have prospered himself, who have cut a nice connection to the government, to Washington, to the politicians, to the millionaires and billionaires, to the AIPAC, to the Israeli lobby, but his people stay poor. That's the issue that we're talking about. So black leaders seem to have a personal history of success when the people that they represent get poorer and poorer every year. They seem to serve better the foreign lobby like AIPAC, which makes sure that the money goes to Israel, and now the money goes to Ukraine, because they're the one who also push the money for Ukraine. Ukraine get the money, Israel or the Zionists get their money, but black America get denied help. And these are the people who telling black America don't ask for reparations. These are the black leaders who are taking black America don't ask for nothing. These are the people who, even when Barack Obama was president in between 2008 and 2012, was telling black Americans, if you ask for anything, you're going to make Obama look bad. You're going to offend white folks. You're going to offend Spanish folks. You're going to offend LGBTQ people. So basically, these are the black politicians who have made a scene for black folks to ask their government to help their community. They're the one that they use. They are the black faces they use to basically tell black folks, don't ask for nothing. Now I'm going to share my last video about the black media, who specifically talking to him, specifically talking to Jim Clyburn, the U.S. representative from South Carolina of District 606. And I'm going to finish with that last video and then give my take about Black America, and also give how we can do it better. And I'm finished with the conclusion with talking to President Donald Trump and the Republican Party. But let's hear what black media, Black America, has to say about Representative Jim Clyburn. So the title of this video is Clyburn says elder must talk some sense into young voters. So the title of this video is Clyburn says elder must talk some sense into young voters. This video is from the professor, they call him Black Truth. In YouTube, it's Prof. Black Truth. So the name of the owner of that video is called himself the professor. So the Prof. Black Truth. So he's the one talking. He responding to what Jim Clyburn said about saying that the elder must talk sense to the young folks because they refuse to go along with poverty, with mediocrity, with getting nothing out of the Democratic Party, with getting nothing out of American money. When everything goes to Israel and Ukraine, Black America get nothing. And these are the ones who don't want to give reparation, don't help black folks get reparation, don't want to get black folks get money, government money, help from their own government. These are the black leaders. So now we're going to hear what Black America saying to him from the Prof. Black Truth. Let's listen. And I'm going to finish here. And my apologies, they're cutting my grass outside, so I'm waiting for him to. Okay, so let me talk. I'm gonna talk a little bit because he's cutting the grass just close to my property here. They're cutting the grass outside. So, okay. So, what's happening with black leaders in this country is that they have basically traumatized black people here and ask them and make them feel guilty if they want to ask for a better financial situation, if you want to ask for a protection when it comes to hate crime against black people, if you want to ask for reparations. So they turn basically black folks into people who should not speak, because they told black folks that if you speak, if you ask for something, you're going to offend white people. You're going to offend Jewish people. You're going to offend LGBTQ. That's basically what black leaders in Congress have been saying to Black America. That's why you see this revolt, especially against the Democratic Party. Okay, let's hear the professor.
Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the professor, and this is the moment of truth. Before we begin, I want to give a mention to Sister Lisa Cabrera. There's not many people who I actually listen to on the internet, and she's one of the new voices of black media who I've recommended to you in the past, along with Tarian Rain, Your World, and a select few others. She's already posted a video on the subject of this morning's briefing, and her take is more than worth checking out if you haven't already. Today, I'll be giving my view. Politico, a white media publication, has a fraudulent headline: Jim Clyburn, America's favorite sharecropper, saved Biden's campaign in 2020. They actually have the nerve to put that in print. Actually, Clyburn was attacking and insulting the people who actually did save Biden's worthless behind.
This foolishness about you got to be this progressive or that progressive, that phrase, defund the police, cost Jamie Harrison tremendously.
If you could have a caucus meeting right now and you would, or tell folks what they should do differently, given the losses that we have, what would you say to them?
Stop sloganeering. Sloganeering kills people. Sloganeering destroys movements. Stop sloganeering.
Stop sloganizing. Stop sloganizing. Sloganizing kills. No supporting politicians who sit on their hands while black people are gunned down in the street by race soldiers. That's what kills. And that's what Clyburn's always done. This asinine narrative by the white media that this safe pet Negro somehow is the most important black politician in America. He's the most useful puppet that white power has in America. But he's hardly influential. Remember, James Clyburn put all of his little influence behind Jamie Harrison back in 2020. And although Biden and Raphael Warnock won handily due to black support, it was nigga Jim Clyburn's own handpicked flunky Jamie Harrison who lost his race. The only person who supported that clown was Jim Clyburn, and he lost. And who did Clyburn blame for that? The young black voters who were demanding that these domestic terrorist organizations calling themselves the police be defunded. Now, if James Clyburn was so influential, why did his boy lose? It's because he's no kingmaker. But the white media has lies that they need to prop up, so here we go. And Politico's article has a sub-headline, Representative Jim Clyburn doesn't think black voters are really swinging toward Trump. Okay, Captain Obvious, do you want us to give you a prize for that little bit of wisdom? That crap about black voters supposedly swinging towards Trump, that's been a white media lie for the last 3 years at least, as they've seen that Biden hasn't been able to hold on to that black support from 2020. Black voters very quickly became soured on him when it was obvious he had pulled just another con game. Now, I in particular have been beating the drum nonstop against that white media rhetoric about black voters are turning to Trump because the white media is terrified to admit the truth. Black voters are turning their backs on Biden because he offered us nothing and he's done nothing for us. And here the white media is, years after the fact, acting like this old sharecropping bastard is revealing some sort of heretofore unknown truth about the black vote. Once again, family, if you're not following the black media, you'll always be the last to know. These stories you see from the white media are mostly the media equivalent of comfort food for racists. Young black voters are starting to sour the little hustle that the Jim Clyburns and Joe Bidens have had going, so they need to convince themselves that the house of cards that white power sits on isn't really being threatened by these young black voters. They have to convince themselves that their army of bootlicks can keep us under control. Whenever they see us pushing back, they start screaming that somebody has to stop these extremists on the left. Yeah, when you live under a system that's totally and completely corrupt and dirty, merely demanding an ounce of justice is extremism. Well, as Malcolm X said when he threw Barry Goldwater's words back in his face,
I don't believe in any form of unjustified extremism. But I believe that when a man is exercising extremism, a human being is exercising extremism in defense of liberty for human beings, it's no vice. And when one is moderate in the pursuit of justice for human beings, I say he's a sinner. The day that the black man takes an uncompromising step and realizes that he's within his rights, when his own freedom is being jeopardized, to use any means necessary to bring about his freedom or put a halt to that injustice, I don't think he'll be by himself. I honestly believe that the day that they do, many whites will have more respect for them, and that there will be more whites on their side than are now on their side with these little wishy-washy love thy enemy approach that they've been using up to now.
But Politico's not the only ones out here quaking in their boots. You got other publications like The Hill. They're posting pieces saying that James Clyburn's trying to get these young black voters in line, having these old Negroes talk to us. Jim Clyburn says it's time to talk some sense into the younger black generation. This is the propaganda that the white media is carpet bombing us with, saying that Jim Clyburn's going to get these old heads to get us back in line. The Biden campaign co-chair believes black parents should be responsible for convincing black youth to vote for Biden. Well, I don't know how to break it to old nigga Jim Clyburn, but the black parents are no longer the black baby boomers. If you look at what Gen Z is doing, those are the children of Generation X. And the millennials, they ain't listening to the Jim Clyburns either. He's talking to the wrong black parents. But then again, when you're as behind the curve as their sharecropper, is it any surprise that he can't keep up? Jim Clyburn is part of the black baby boomers, and they have no credibility with anyone. You can't talk sense to somebody when you don't have any sense to begin with. This is that old plantation talk that he's doing. Don't worry, massa. I'll go talk them unruly field hands into going back and picking the cotton for you. Yes, massa. I'm your boy. James Clyburn has made an entire career out of using literal plantation politics to get black people to vote. And the crown jewel of this condescending politics that he likes to peddle has to be his infamous annual catfish cookout. I wish I was making that up. James Clyburn literally has a cookout to get black folks to vote. And apparently, for a lot of those Negroes out there, where he lives at least, that's enough for them to go and do it. Those Negroes out there aren't demanding reparations for their vote. They're demanding a 2-piece and fries. That is pathetic. But Clyburn's proud of that. He's proud of the fact that he can get high office for the cost of a lunch plate special at the local Greasy Spoon Diner. And this is what Clyburn's white paymasters are also doing, trying to get our vote without actually having to give us anything for it. This is why the black vote isn't respected, and that disrespect quickly turns into out-and-out abuse. Young black voters don't want to be like these olders. Elders are supposed to be producing something to benefit the young. That's how elders earn the title of elders. They earn it through respect, but they gotta produce to get that respect. Decrepit, self-interested relics like Clyburn, they don't want to do anything for anyone but themselves.
See?
The black baby boomers had the advantage of inadvertently being young and growing up during the post-World War II economy, back when the U.S. had an unparalleled economic edge over the rest of the industrialized world, which had been bombed to hell during the war. America convinced itself that its economic might was solely due to the quality of its work and its goods. And while it's true that U.S. products and services were certainly of better quality 65 years ago than they are today, it's also true that as the rest of the world began to rebuild and eventually come back online again, the U.S. simultaneously began to see its economic position erode. This was the economic situation that black baby boomers grew up in, and by the end of the 1970s, the party was over. The baby boomers were in their 20s and 30s by then. Many of them were working at jobs made possible by the Civil Rights Act and other legislation, and they enjoyed all of these benefits during an economy that was far stronger than the one that Generation X and the millennials would grow into. See, the black baby boomers could afford to wear blinders, or at least not face up to the realities of the world. They had government jobs and token corporate jobs. Generation X, millennials, and Gen Zers, on the other hand, are under no such illusions.
Right.
We're not about to have any senile failures lecture us on anything. And please tell me, who the hell is going to listen to Jim Clyburn? Even the Democrats don't listen to this clown. Clyburn says that these old heads like himself, they need to convince us to vote for Biden. By the way, did I tell you that Jim Clyburn is Joe Biden's campaign chair? Now, 4 years ago, when young black voters were making their demands to Clyburn known, he was the one who led the charge to insult them and tell them to shut up. And now here this moron is, 4 years later, still thinking that he's in some sort of position to be barking out orders. See, there's that old age again. Joe Biden's not the only politician who's gone senile. They keep recycling the same failed moves because white supremacy doesn't have any new plays in the playbook. They just keep doing the same thing, only more of it. And they depend on black people having short memories because too many of us do, or counting on us losing our resolve because too many of us do, or otherwise losing interest in holding our ground because history has shown that too many of us do. You have these white supremacists on the left who are conducting a joint chorus of complaint with their hand-picked Negro bootlicks like Clyburn, and then they wonder why nobody outside their circle of stupidity listens to them. White power has set up its gang of safe, docile, obedient Negroes who they know aren't going to question them or challenge them. They'll just sit there like a potted plant and nod their empty heads. Well, thanks to our efforts, more and more younger black voters aren't. The young black people today are acting like a serious constituency, or at least they're starting to, and that means big trouble for the Jim Clyburns of this world, because they're not going to be able to come along this time and recycle the old talking point, orange man bad. As I told you 4 years ago, that's a trick that they only get to pull one time. Now Clyburn says the problem is one of messaging. That's what he says. That's how you know this fool's completely and thoroughly out of touch. No, the problem isn't the message. The problem is one of substance. Biden isn't going to sloganize his way out of this one. They've done crap like get your booty to the polls and other garbage. They know that they can't send out losers like Clyburn to talk to us. The under 50 black voters don't respect chumps like him, and they won't listen to him. And they won't listen to these hand-picked pork chop preachers either. So good luck trotting out the Al Sharptons or the Messy Jessies or any of these would-be heir apparents like William Barber or Michael Eric Dyson. The day of thinking all you got to do is have some pulpit pimp come out and shuck and jive for us and do their preacher man routine and the Negroes will predictably fall in line, That day is over. Hell, even if they did magically stumble upon a better message, it still wouldn't help them because black people don't trust the messengers. The white media has spent the last decade now trying to manufacture their own safe, phony versions of the new black media, hand-picked puppets who white power selects, and then tries to crown them as being the black voice or black leaders or whatever. And their strategy has failed because, as I've told you, white power can give you a platform, but what they can't give you is legitimacy. And speaking of illegitimate, whenever some fool talks about how the Democrats' problem is messaging, I can't help but remember how roly-poly Martin runs around saying that Democrats would need to hire me to do the messaging for them. Y'all don't know what black folks want to hear. Well, he doesn't know either. This cable news cast-off has got the pulse of the young people, right? Well, how come his candidates keep losing? Yeah, roly-poly's a tool, all right, but he's the wrong tool for the job. Trying to bluff their way past us and use fear-mongering and other rhetorical tricks isn't proving to be effective this time around. The reason that the black vote is turning against Biden is because he already made it clear he's turned against us. We just had the latest example where the survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre had their case rejected by the courts yet again for no reason. Biden said that he had black people's backs 4 years ago, but he's been MIA on this one, and so is the rest of his administration. Now, when the police wanted to have legal immunity from denying people their Miranda rights, Biden personally sent his own Solicitor General to go to the Supreme Court to offer an amicus brief on behalf of the police to support the thugs in blue, so that they don't have to be sued whenever they deny people their Miranda rights. Kamala Harris went to the Edmund Pettus Bridge this year and used that as a platform for a PR stunt meant to pacify the anti-war left because they don't like Biden funding Israel's war machine. But she said absolutely nothing about the Tulsa Race Massacre victims or anything else meant to get us justice for the wrongs that we've endured. So Biden and his pals, they'll go to the mat for everyone else, including those who harm us. But for black people, crickets. Biden's Justice Department has done nothing and said nothing to support the black people whose civil rights were being unquestionably trampled on in Tulsa or anywhere else. And Biden doesn't dare say a word on the Tulsa Race Massacre's victims' behalf either, because he knows to do that would open the door to a conversation on reparations. And he's not about to do that. And you know who else won't dare do that either? Jim Clyburn. This shuffling, buck-dancing Mr. Bojangles. If you thought that he was indignant at young black people for demanding the police be punished, what do you think goes through that empty melon on his shoulders when you tell him he needs to publicly advocate for reparations? You had people like Brother Marcel who confronted James Clyburn directly on that, and James Clyburn started with the whataboutisms. And I ain't got time for this, and why y'all coming at me? Nah, he didn't say, you know what? I'm going to step up for reparations right now. He didn't even say, well, I've always stood for reparations. He said, why y'all coming at me? That's what he said. James Clyburn is a sock puppet for white power. He and his worthless daughter, who I've told you about, she was a commissioner on the FCC because of her father's influence. And then when she left the FCC, she immediately got put on the payroll of the very communications companies that she was allegedly regulating. But I'm sure that was just one big happy coincidence. Negroes like Jim Clyburn see themselves as a black overseer class for massa. He knows what his real job is, to show white power that he can keep the rest of us in line. Biden's refusal to publicly stand up for the Tulsa Race Massacre victims shows you precisely why young black people aren't supporting him today and shouldn't have supported him in 2020. The generation who endured the race massacres were the parents and grandparents of the black baby boomers, the Jim Clyburns, that is. And yet, if you're a black Gen Xer or younger, you don't hear these baby boomers talking about these genocides, do you?
That's right.
They were too busy trying to style and profile and looking for interracial sexual access. That's what they were doing in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. People like John Lewis and Jim Clyburn were looking to use the civil rights movement as a springboard to a career in politics for themselves, so that they could finally get some of that sweet political campaign money that they had seen the white politicians getting. That's the reason that they wanted to get into politics so badly. The black baby boomers like Clyburn turned their backs on these genocides. They turned their backs on their own parents and grandparents. These old Negroes out here should be ashamed of that. They should be too ashamed to show their faces, much less run their mouths. They should have been the ones leading the charge to get justice for their parents and grandparents, but instead it fell to Generation X and the millennials to go back and remind this country of the crimes that it tried to bury. And Jim Clyburn thinks the young black voters are going to listen to these turncoat fossils like himself? Don't dream. This is what happens when you spend decades inside a white media bubble, where where you have the white media pretending to fawn.
I'm going to stop here. I think you got the point. That's the professor of truth, the professor of black truth. Speaking truth to power. You heard that yourselves. I'm just going to stop here when it comes to that video. So I got some other pictures I want to show. Basically, most of them are financed by the Israel lobby. And the shame about the situation of black politicians, whether they're in the Senate or in the House, is this thing about them not wanting to help the people that they're supposed to represent, which are the black folks that put them in power. Most of them was put in power by black people, using the same Democratic Party lane. But they do everything not to help black folks. And I wanted to play you what Black America is actually saying, the truth about Black America. I wanted to play you that. You see, just for you to hear the truth. Okay, I got a couple of Democrats here that I can show who are financed by AIPAC. Like this Torres here. This one is 1.5 million 88,000. This guy here, that's a Democrat. Is financed heavily by AIPAC, by the Israel lobby. You know, that's just one of them. It's so many of them. All of them are basically in Congress to serve the state of Israel and not to serve Black America. And that's what needs to be said. This is the leader of the Democratic House, the leader of the House on the Democratic side. Hakeem Jeffries, 1.4 million 1,498,105, financed by AIPAC, financed by Israel lobby, is the U.S. representative of New York 8. This is the leader in the House of the Democratic Party. Is more owned and financed by AIPAC, basically the Zionists, than most of the black politicians. I think after that, to be honest with you, I'm not gonna sugarcoat. I think I didn't find the image here, but our senator here, which is also my pastor, ironically, Warnock, is financed at the tune of $900,000 by the Israel lobby. I mean, this thing about black influential leaders being financed heavily by AIPAC or the Israel lobby and sending money or everything to Israel and Ukraine now, but nothing for black folks. They could not even pass a bill to protect the black vote. Yes, in 2020, when they came to campaign, the Jim Clyburn, to ask Americans to vote for the Warnocks and the Ossoffs to get the majority in the Senate, they got the majority. They could not protect the black vote. They could not pass any reparation. They could not pass any bill that actually helped black folks. What they do is they pass big bills. They talk about infrastructure. Infrastructure goes to rich people. That money goes to rich white families. They keep talking about, yeah, you're going to send the money to corporations. This goes to white rich families who've been rich for 4 decades, for 4 generations or 5 generations. They're giving the money to the same people already got the money. And when I'm talking to you, when I'm giving you the numbers about how much the majority of black Americans are making, the median income is $45,000 a year. What can you do with $45,000 in our days when the rent is $2,000? The inflation, the food is so high, it's ridiculous. People got to choose between eating and paying bills. And they're doing nothing about that. That's what they eat. That's why they're losing the black vote. That's why Joe Biden going to lose in November. because he already lost the black vote. He lost all the young folks, the majority of the young folks. And some of the old folks, many going to stay, they're not going to vote for Donald Trump, they're going to stay home. The majority of black folks they're not going to go vote for Donald Trump. A few, maybe 10 to 15% of black people are going to vote for Trump, but the majority will stay home because they're disgusted. And they have the right to be disgusted. So I wanted to play this to show you, so you can hear what black Americans say, what the truth, not this fake stuff that they're talking about. The true reality, what's happening in the black community. So, just another part of the black position financially here, and that's to the marketplace. That's another publication. When they're talking about the National Urban League, talking about the black economy, David Brancaccio said, your report showed that racial economic inequality has in some ways widened in some areas. The report cited that in year 2000, why they trying to cut my, what's going on? Why they trying to cut my electricity? I'm good. The report cited that in year 2000, a black man earned 75 cents for every dollar earned by a white man. So in the 2000, why they trying to cut my electricity? I'm good. My bill is okay, all right. So why they, now that I'm speaking truth to power, why are you trying to cut my electricity? I'm lying. Okay, David Brancaccio say, your report shows that racial economic inequality has in some ways widened in some areas. The report cited that data in the year 2000, a black man earned 75 cents for every dollar earned by a white man. And then by 2024, this goes down to 71 cents to 75 cents, from 75 to 71 cents. So that seems like the wrong direction. So basically, black people make even less than they was doing in the 2000s. But who represent black folks? Black politicians, the majority of them. And the majority of them are Democrats. A couple of them are Republicans, but the majority of them are Democrats. So it's outrageous. And that's what I wanted to share with you when it comes to that. Share a little bit, a couple of facts, a couple of realities. I want you to hear the black voices speak for themselves. I want America to hear what black America is saying. And like I say, and I say it with my chest and with a straight face, the Democratic Party lost, is not losing, lost the black vote, and President Biden will lose in November 2024. So it doesn't matter how many shenanigans you're going to do, how many black face you're going to hire to try to come message black people. Black folks don't need messaging. They need the substance. They need you to invest in the black community. That's what we were saying to the Senator Warnocks, to the Senator, to the Jim Clyburns. Black folks don't need to be come talk to. They don't need to come forced to vote for you. Don't do nothing for them. You lost. You lost. You can't hear them. You lost, black people, because you could not deliver since the Civil Rights Bill. You basically turn black politician or black leadership into personal success stories without taking that personal success story to the people that you represent. Basically, your personal success as a senator or as a representative in the House, don't connect to the people that you represent, because the people that you represent still under high poverty, still on the most incarcerated. Black folks are still the most being incarcerated in the United States, still under what we call black hate crime. There is no black hate crime bill. You see, after he got the power, after all the George Floyd stuff that basically brought him in power, make black America vote for Joe Biden because they thought that Joe Biden would be better than former President Trump. He got to power and he told black folks he's not going to do anything for them. So he's not going to do any John Lewis, voting right bill, nothing. No reparation bill, nothing about protecting black hate crime against black folks. But he signed a hate crime bill for Asian. That's the disrespect. You heard them say that. That's what the Democratic Party have been doing since even when Obama was president. That's the reason why Barack Obama today is one of the most hated presidents by black folks. Do you even know that Barack Obama was one of the most loved presidents when he was president? Today in 2024, Barack Obama is one of the most hated black president by the black community. I don't know if you guys know that. You know why they're angry at him today? Because they realize that he didn't do anything. He gave Wall Street, he bailed out Wall Street. The Obamacare that you're talking about, the Obamacare is a gift to the insurance company. Insurance is still outrageous. Black folks still can afford to go to the doctor. Americans can afford to go to the doctor, but he didn't do nothing for black folks. He got voted twice in 2008 and 2012, and he's done nothing. So, but they have a nice personal success. When you look at Barack Obama's story, it's a nice personal success with him and Michelle Obama and their family. They're rich for life. They have all the connection. And every election, they send them to come talk to black folks when they done nothing for them. But they did a lot for the Jewish lobby. They financed the Jewish lobby. They financed Israel. They financed the Zionists. They financed whatever war they had going on. Now Joe Biden doing it for Ukraine and Israel, the Zionists, who committed one of the worst genocide in history, the most documented genocide, over 40,000 killed in Palestine. And they're wiping out everybody over there. And that's Democrats. They're the one in power. Now they're even financing the disorder in Africa. They're trying to, they just say, they're just trying to take, the IMF just created a nasty bill that put Kenya in blood. Kenya just exploded a couple of days ago. A couple of young Kenyans, the Gen Z generation, revolt against the high taxes. Basically, they're trying to impose, how you call this? That's austerity to young Kenyans. They revolt against their president, that Joe Biden here put him in the seat in the White House. Ruto. He's rebuked over there by his people because he came here. The American Congress drafted a bill and going to the IMF, who basically killed the young African people over there in Kenya with taxes, and they rejected that. So we have to look at all this anger is created under the Democratic Party, under a Democratic president. You have the war in Ukraine. You have the war in Gaza. Now you're drafting Americans. They're going to start the draft by what we hear next year. For all these young folks who are on the social media, all this Gen Z generation, now going to be forced to go fight for Ukraine and Israel. Do you know what that's going to do to this country? You don't even realize the fire that you may start here. You're going to start a draft back in 2025. Now you're going to force the Gen Z who have rejected your policy, rejected the war against Gaza, against the Palestinians, who have rejected the Zionist agenda, who have rejected that old school that black folks was talking about here, rejected the old way. Now you're going to force them to go fight a war to protect the Zionist agenda and to protect the Ukraine agenda, where we know that Lindsey Graham came to say that you guys just trying to control the $10 trillion of natural resources that Ukraine have. You just try that's why you're in Ukraine, because you don't want to let the 10 to 12 trillion dollars of natural resources, you don't want to leave that to Russia. So it's about natural resources of Ukraine, where you have the BlackRock, many big corporations who are already exploiting the. So basically, people are going to go to war. So BlackRock and the multinational, the big corporation can get billions of dollars. So this young kid's going to go die for that, to protect the natural resources of Ukraine that they're not getting. When the Ukraine getting most money here, every time the Congress find themselves talking about bills, but Americans get nothing. They can't even get a stimulus check. Worse again, Black America get nothing. They tell them you not to ask for nothing. And you want to send these kids to war. Create a draft next year, 2025. The Democratic Party lost his way. The Democratic Party should be ashamed of themselves and should basically, to me, they should not even speak to black people. They should just stay on your own. Get Ukrainians, get Zionists to vote for you. Yes, the Democratic Party should go ask Ukrainians and Zionists to vote for them, because they're the one who got the money. Black folks didn't get no money from you. You're not helping Black America. Black America is still at the bottom in this country. So the Democratic Party should go ask the Zionists and the Ukrainian to vote for them. Not black folks. You know nothing for them. Nothing for us, even the black immigrant. The black communities are not getting help. Even in the States, when you look at the budget, how much the black community is getting, how much the black business are getting, is 1%. Some is even less than 1%. That's the reality that we're in. When you look at the share of the money, Black America is always getting almost nothing. And you engrave that in the politics, you engrave that austerity, that cruelty, because Black America is getting, what we get is cruelty. But they're the one that they're asking Black America to save democracy. What democracy are they going to save? Are Black America benefiting from democracy when the most of the resources are going to other folk? Whether they're white, whether they're immigrant, illegal immigrant even. Now they create a situation where they pour a lot of illegal immigrants in the black communities, and they're getting resources when the Americans who are in those communities are not getting help, and many of them are homeless. They're dealing with homeless, and they're dealing with a hard time to pay rent, to a hard time to feed themselves. So the focus should be also to help Americans first. Even if you want to help an illegal immigrant or undocumented immigrant, you do that after you help the Black American that you send the illegal immigrant in the town to. You cannot have a town where Black America paying taxes, but they're getting no help from the government, whether it's the local government, the state government, or the federal government. But you're getting all the help. You're paying $9,000 a year of rent for illegal immigrants. That's outrageous. That's insulting. That's how low you look at black folks in this country. And that's what we speak against. That's why we come and put pressure on the so-called black politicians who, after they got theirs, they forgot everybody else. And when they go to Congress, they can't even pass bills that help Black America. They're doing the opposite. They're asking Black Americans not to ask for anything. That's outrageous. But you're giving Israeli Zionists billions of dollars. You're giving Zelensky in Ukraine billions of dollars. But Americans get nothing. So that's something that we must change. We must address that. Now I'm going to close with the Republican Party and President Trump. I have a couple of advice for him, about 3. My first advice to the Republican Party and the President Trump, who probably going to come back to power. I think they're going to call him probably the comeback kid, is to look at the tax cut. Okay? I'm just going to go and say it. The Republican Party best pitch to the black community, even to America, is the tax cut. But the issue that we have with the tax cut is the redistribution of the money. And that's why Republicans need to learn how to deal with the issue of cruelty. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. The Republican Party have an issue with cruelty. They seem to enjoy seeing people that they represent or people that they're supposed to represent in pain, in financial pain. And they seem to be more willing to give a chunk of the money to the family, the oligarchs in America, the family who have been rich for 5 generations. Basically, the family who have benefited from slavery, let's just say it. The family who have benefited from Jim Crow. The family who have benefited from the bondage of black America. They seem to still have this commitment to give 90% of the tax cut to those families. So the Republican Party have a great product, because this is America. We're in a capitalist country, so we're going to talk about product. This is America. We're talking about the tax cut. The tax cut is a good product. The problem with the tax cut is the tax cut have been written, put in place through a cruelty vision. And my hope is that if President Donald Trump come back to power, one of my advices to him and his team and the Republican Party is that he changed the dynamic of the tax cut, because the tax cut cannot be only for the people who already have. When you send all this money to the corporation or to the military industrial complex, these people already have billions or trillions or millions of dollars. Those families are already rich. If you add them an extra $10 million, that's not going to change anything. If you ask them an extra $1 billion, that's not going to change anything. And that's the part that the Republican Party is missing, because they're so focused on attacking those who make under $75,000 a year. Basically, they have an issue with the poor chunk of the United States. Even the majority poor white people are also a victim of that tax cut, in the sense when they don't benefit. They love Donald Trump. They love the MAGA people. They love the vision of the Republican Party. Maybe don't Donald Trump, because maybe don't like the Republican. They like Donald Trump. But the issue is they deserve also to get some of the money. The money should not be just for Zionists and Ukrainians. All right? Because you have a chunk of white folks who are poor too. They deserve to get some of the tax cut. And when I talk about redistribution of the tax cut, it's not giving people $200 or $500. No, giving people real money, $5,000 to $10,000, $10,000 to $5,000. So coming from the bottom to the top, you may start with $10,000 per family, and then you go down as the bracket goes. Like I told you, we have 5 brackets here. You have to redistribute the money in a way where it affects the most people, which are the poor and the middle class. So the tax cut can be just a gift to your friends and families and to those who already dominate the freaking industries and dominate the world. So if you get $1 trillion tax cut, don't give 90% of the tax cut to everybody who already got the money. At least split it in half. Take half of it and redistribute it in real money, real cash. $10,000 per family, $8,000 per family, $7,000 per family, $5,000 per family. And then the richer, the one who make the most money might take to $2,500 per family, something like that. Make a real distribution of money. Not the stuff that you talk about even at work when you say, yeah, we're going to give money back to employer, we're going to give $50. What is $50 in somebody's paycheck? You're going to give back some of the tax to employees. 50 what? 50 fucking dollars will do nothing. If you pull out $1 trillion to be put in under a tax cut, you got to make the tax cut fair with where the majority of the people are, which are the poor and the middle class. And for Donald Trump, if you want to change history, you should be the first one to make sure that a lot of that money goes straight to the black community. Because the black community is now leaving the Democratic Party. So if you guys are smart, and if you can get away from your cruelty, because the reason why you haven't redistributed the money in the black community, because you're still on that cruelty stuff. We know what the history is. We know what the history is between the slavery, Jim Crow, and the game to keep incarcerating. You got to get away from that game. It's not working anymore. People want to grow. We want a country where everybody will benefit from the money that is redistributed to put on the table for everybody. Not just for Ukraine or Israel. That's what everybody's saying in this country. So you have to redo the tax cut in a way where you have a great product, but stop feeding the people who already have. I didn't say don't give them some of the tax cut. I did, unless of giving them 90% of the tax cut, make it 50-50. Give 50 to the rich and 50 to the middle class and the poor. Because when you're going to break down those numbers, it's going to turn out to be stuff like $10,000 for families who make $0 to $30,000 a year. For a family who make, like we saw here on the lower middle class, those who make maybe 30 to 58,000, you give them 8,000 or 7,000, something like that. So you go down, but you start high, because $10,000 of a tax cut in a family gonna transform that family when they're poor or when they're middle class. It will help pay bills, it will help pay rent, it will help put food for a couple of months. You're gonna boost the American economy and the real America, which are the poor and the middle class, because even the middle class, they're the one who sustain this country. During COVID, we was working. When many of us was hiding under the bed, I'm one of those blue-collar people who kept working. I never stopped working. That's why we can speak strongly like that, because we keep this country going, yes. But when you distribute the money still goes to the same who already have. So that's the first thing that the Republican Party must change. Change your tax cut. Take cruelty out of the tax cut. Redistribute the money better. And target the black community. Because if you do that, you're going to get millions of black voters. That's for the Republican Party and Donald Trump. That's the first advice. The second advice is on the international front. I'm the governor of the state of Niadi. This is my new country, the 55th country of Africa. Help the Congo people get their land back. Because we have been put together with Republic of Congo since 1958, and it didn't work out. And those people who came to our land start genociding us. They kept us in poverty. And you know the game with France. France is basically under United States orders, so you already know the history. We just want you to now be part of the reparation part. The land should go back to the native, the majority, the Congo people, and the control of the natural resources at least 51%. And America, we benefit from that because America will change the dynamic in the center, the core of this world. You all know that because when you went to separate African countries, you came to my land. Because everybody knows these are the richest land in this world. You came there to divide Africa. So I'm not going to make a history course here. I just want you to return the land back to the Kongo Federation. We have the over $60,000, over 60,000 signatures through our referendum. Our people have chosen the leader that we are, the new federal council, which I'm one of the governors. We are the one who have the power to return the land back to our power, to our people, and take back the control of the natural resources, and then we can do a type of deal that will help America too, and will help America when it comes to the standing, because America at lost is moral. Whatever you're doing with the Zionists in Palestine is not going to work. It's not working. America lost its way because America could not even define what genocide is. You have American politicians on TV lying about genocide. Now you don't recognize genocide. You recognize genocide when you let it happen in Africa. When it happened, when Sassou Nguesso was killing our people, you know that genocide. When they're killing other African countries, you can see genocide. But when you financing the Zionists of Netanyahu, you don't see it's not genocide anymore. You're trying to change the definition. That's not good. That's not good for America. We can do better than that. So if you change the standing of the Kongo Federation, you recognize it, you make it sit like it should have been, because you are the owner of this land and the natural resources, it will benefit the American reputation, and we may work to get better and stop trying to push this war with Kagame, Paul Kagame, the Rwandans who trying to steal our lands. We are not interested in that. Stop trying to push this war where you think that by pushing war, your corporation is going to benefit. You're going to be kicked out of Africa. The risk that you're taking now, the Generation X and Generation, I'm from a Generation X. I'm one of the leaders who come from that generation. And the Generation Z, so the youngest after us, you're going to be kicked out of Africa. And we have said that clearly to Joe Biden. If you don't address this issue, Americans will be kicked out of Africa. Your multinational is going to be kicked out. Like he was kicked out from Burkina Faso and Niger. So y'all know that. So if you want to lose your standing in Africa, and we all know you can't afford it, because that's where the cartons with all the cell phones that I'm talking to come from. The Congo land, in our land, that's where it comes from. So you're going to lose access to all that, because if you don't change that foreign policy, that part of trying to push foreigners to come take over native land, it's not going to work for America. America is going to be rebuked from African lands. So we got to do better when it comes to that foreign policy. So Donald Trump, as he come back to power, should be smarter than that. And by recognizing the Kongo Federation, it will send a signal strong to the rest of African that you're willing to do business differently, because now you're willing to help people protect their land, protect their resources, their natural resources, and grow and be part of the prosperity. Don't just come take, and you never develop. That's why Africa is angry now, because you never develop. That's why they're going to Russia now. Because now with Russia, when you see Burkina Faso, they're mining. They're controlling the mine, they control the resources, and they're making money. And the people are getting some of those benefits. Why can America do that? Why you have to come trying to force and steal? We can make a deal where you help America and you help our people. But our people need to be developed. Don't come steal. Don't come force yourself. That's not working. That's old politics of the Jim Clyburn and the Joe Biden. That stuff is over. So I hope that President Trump and his team watch what I'm saying here about foreign policy, especially when it comes to Africa. You have to change the attitude, the way you do that. Because you're on the losing side right now. even in Africa, and you're taking the risk of Americans being kicked off, multinational and people being kicked off of Africa. And we know that you cannot afford it. You and I know we can afford it. America cannot afford to be kicked out of Africa. You all know that. And my last point to the Republican Party and to former President Donald Trump is, as the Democratic Party told everybody that you are the most dangerous politician in America, that you're the white supremacist, now you're a 34-time felon, that you are the most dangerous politician that nobody should vote for. That's what he's saying, that they talk about saving democracy when they can't even save the people who are here. They can't even protect the black vote here, the black people here. They can't even protect the black Americans. They're sending all the money overseas. But they keep coming telling you that you're the worst politician that this country should not have, or the worst president that this country should not let in power. If I were you, former President Donald Trump, I will embrace that, and I will do something that never been done. Since they say you're a white supremacist, since they say that you are a criminal, since they say that you're going to kill democracy, you're going to bring America to a dictatorship, since they say that you betray the country with January 6th, since they say that you lead in a cult with MAGA, Make America Great Again, that's everything that Democrats are saying about you and your leadership. When you get back to power this November, when you get back to power, because of the whole history behind you already, everything that have been written, everything that, all the court cases that they're going after you, whatever they are now, you actually, in the history, the best American president situating to change the history of this country by being the president that will push and get done, sign the first federal reparation bill. I will advocate to the Republican Party, if you're smart, put your ego on the side, take away your cruelty, like you take it away from the tax cut, take it away from this politics, make President Donald Trump the United States president that will sign a federal reparation bill to black America, and see what happens the next 50 years. What he will do, he will create a firestorm on the Democratic Party side, where they will lose whatever credibility that they have left with black people in this country. What it means? It means that the Democratic Party will lose the black vote for the next 50 years. It will mean that black America will remember the president, which was not Barack Obama, who had the chance in 2008 and 2012, never done that, who was not Joe Biden, who had the chance in 2020. But you come back in 2024, the most controversial president, you should be the one who come and change the history of this country by signing a federal reparation bill for black America. And you're not going to just do that. Like I said on the tax cut, you change the tax cut, you take half of the tax cut money and you redistribute it to the middle class and the poor. And in the middle class and the poor is a chunk of the white community there that support you. Even the Spanish community that support you. A chunk of them are there. You redistribute that money so they remember you as the one who came to help against inflation. Inflation, they're going to still, the prices on the stores keep going up. They don't stop that because they say that's business. That's capitalist. That's the way they say. But If you get money in people's pocket, if you put money in people's pocket so they can at least afford the high gas prices or the high amount in the stores, then they will remember that. And I challenge you, Donald Trump, as you come back, former President Donald Trump, with everything that has been said about you and the MAGA movement, to be the president that signed the federal reparation bill in your first 100 days in power when you come back. I challenge you to do that. And I challenge the Republican Party to bring that conversation to the table, to guarantee that now we're going to bridge the gap between whites and blacks and immigrants in the middle, and the immigration situation also can be dealt with. I believe that immigrants who came to this country should help the country get better. That's what I'm trying to do here with my contribution. Our role in America should be to help America get better, help Americans get better. And the best way, one of the best ways to do it is to bridge the gap between blacks and white, because the history is brutal. And we know we have Spanish and we have the native people in the middle. Also help, do a bit for the native people to help them, get some of the land or get some form of enhancing their life, because the native people are in this country. So if you touch the native people, you change the black people, life of millions of black folks. You change the native people. You redistribute the tax cut better where the majority white is, between the poor and the middle class. You will transform America. And everybody will rally about America. And when it comes to foreign policy, hey, I'm going to push my country. You use the Kongo Federation as the base to reshape the foreign policy in Africa. So Americans can be looked at like as be on the good side again, not be those who are on the wrong side of history and just want to wipe out and steal everything. You can't change that. It can be changed. But you have to make the tough decisions. So these are the 3 advices that I want to give to former President Trump as you come back to power and to the Republican Party. And I hope that you have at least start the conversation in the Republican Party. You have an opportunity here to make history. But you have to be willing to do that. You have to get away from the cruelty that you have been driving with for decades. Cruelty is not going to get you anything. And especially cruelty against your own people, that's not happening. Black Americans are Americans. So get away from the cruelty BS. Redistribute the money better. Give some protection. Help out some natives. You have a lot of tribes here who need help. And redistribute the tax cut in a way where the people who support you, which is the majority white, the poor and the middle class is going to get some real checks. We're talking about 10 grand. We're talking about $8,000, $5,000, real money. Because when you send a 90% tax cut to these billionaires and multimillionaires, they're getting real money. Yeah, they might get in under their business. It's money. You give them $3 million, that's a lot of money. It goes to their family. The money goes to their family. It helps their portfolio. It makes them richer. They put that money on Wall Street and they gain more interest on that money. So they're getting richer. So why don't you help the regular folks and the poor folks to get richer too? So America can grow together. And let's bridge that gap between white and black. Let's make some real moves. Some bold moves. So that's my advice to the Republican Party and former President Donald Trump as he comes back in 2024 to power. And like I said, the Democratic Party have lost the black vote. The Democratic Party will lose in November 2024. And they deserve it. They deserve to lose. Because of the disrespect. You have heard Black America speak. Because of the disrespect and because of the lack of understanding the position that black folks have in this country when it comes to political power and political vote. they don't deserve that vote anymore. Okay, I'm gonna close here. Thank you again. I know it's been maybe 2 hours, but I had to go through the whole process so it can be fair to everybody. My name is Gervais Birangui. I'm the governor of the state of Niadi, of the Kongo Federation, which is the 55th country of Africa. And we're gonna keep fighting, not just for our people in the Kongo Federation, but we're also gonna fight to get America better, because America gave me a chance. America gave me a chance to rebuild myself, to rebuild my family, to give a place for my children and my family. And as somebody will be given a chance in America, we have to help America become better. Even if when we speak, it's going to hurt some people by what you say, because we have to be tough. America got to get better, because right now we're losing our way here. We're getting rebuked overseas. So we can do better than that. I'm confident of that. Thank you again to all. May God bless you all. And God bless the Americans. God bless the United States. God bless the Kongo Federation. And God bless Africa, who are fighting for this. For all the African countries that are fighting for their liberty and want to have justice and equality in their land. Thank you all. Amen.